you once we've gone around, okay? You've got some shout in the back. Thanks so much. We'll leave the environment section. I think we'll do all our unless people are specific with anything they need. But we'll do the usual round and we'll kick off with Vinny for Sky.
Pep, first of all, a really good night for the club again last night. Can you just get your reaction, what it means, the fact that Jurgen's been named the best men's coach in the world, Alisson the best goalkeeper in the world, and obviously Virgil finishing second to Messi in the standings for player?
Yeah, big compliment for our structure, I think. For our owners to have faith in Jurgen from the start, giving him a 6-year deal, what helps to trust and to build. Big compliment for our team, because without success, the individual prizes will never come. And then of course, a big compliment for Jurgen himself. Huh? I'm really proud, to be honest. That's what I said yesterday already, but it says a lot. It marks a long way, I think. But the project he put in place here, the way we are building the team, the way the team is can compete in each competition, and the way they established themselves with getting strong on the training pitch with the right signings. And he's not only the face of the team, of course, he's the face of the club. And I think not many foreign managers in a different country made the impact he made at the Liverpool FC. So, example, I always say that Cruyff at Barca had impact in a way that it's not only about now, but it could be about the future. He created a real identity of our play, the way we want to play and the way he plays. So that could last for a long time.
When you look at the levels that side reached last season then as well, and I'm not just thinking on the pitch, we're thinking in training and everything, the whole package. This season, is the group matching those kind of levels, those kind of standards that were set last time around, or are they even surpassing them now?
I think we always want to build on the best games we had, what characterizes our best games. I think for me we are much further than we were last year at the same time. We can dictate play much better. Our last line feels much more comfortable being higher. We are much more front-footed defensively, and of course we can control games better and control spaces better. The team absorbed the way we want to play. It's a natural. It became a natural skill of them at the moment. Of course, we had a short pre-season, so we have to keep building now in the season and finding our machine again. But yeah, for sure we're in the right way. If you see, it's not easy because many teams they change their setup. Example, we analyzed Chelsea 5-4-1 and they come with 4-3-3. Many teams change their setup, play a more counter-attacking game against us, or less space, so we had to become better with the ball, etc. So, yeah, but much further now than we were last year.
In order to protect that, then, I suppose, particularly with regard to the Premier League, when it comes to a cup competition, while you want to win as many cups as possible, how mindful do you have to be, even at this early stage in the season, as to how many games, matches that the players are actually playing?
We want to compete in each competition. We want to attack each competition. We work so hard to be in this situation where we can compete in each one. For me, cup competitions are the soul of football, because it represents a past, like where smaller clubs can play against Premier League clubs, as an example, and give historic games to fans, local fans. It showed that already, and that's what we're up against tomorrow. But for me, the cup competitions, it's something special. It's when two local teams play against each other. That environment you get with the cup competition. So. We want to attack this cup. We want to attack tomorrow's game, of course. We will put a team in place, what for me is a Premier League team. And the players feel this responsibility as well, because we are up to this, that a team, a highly motivated team, plays against us, and the players, they feel this responsibility, so they really look forward to it. I look really forward to it. It's just another opportunity to put our identity in place, show our passion, and we prepare the game in the same way as we prepare Chelsea. Give historic games to fans, local fans. It showed that already, and that's what we're up against tomorrow. But for me, the cup competitions, it's something special. It's when two local teams play against each other. That environment you get with the cup competition. So we want to attack this cup. We want to attack tomorrow's game, of course. We will put a team in place, what for me is a Premier League team. And the players feel this responsibility as well, because we are up to this, that a team, a highly motivated team, plays against us, and the players, they feel this responsibility, so they really look forward to it. I look really forward to it. It's just another opportunity to put our identity in place, show our passion, and we prepare the game in the same way as we prepare Chelsea. With the same accents, probably even more detail, but with the same hunger to win it.
Sam,
Hi, I just wondered, in terms of looking back at last season winning the Champions League, you talked there about the cup competitions being the soul of football. So
Yeah.
when you look at it and you see the reaction that winning a trophy brings to the city, does it sort of further whet the appetite for winning more trophies?
Yeah, wherever you are, it's about two things. One, it's development, and two, it's winning, and both influence the other. So we focus, of course, without the trophy first, development, but winning creates more confidence in this way and confidence in the other way. So everything in first place is about hope, but hope has to become conviction, and now it's is conviction the right word, Matt? Yeah, so we are convicted that you can, because it already happened, we can do it. So each experience makes us stronger. Losing it made us stronger, because, and this is mainly because of our manager, because he, I said sometimes the 5 minutes after a game are more important than the 5 days leading up to a game. He can change situations as nobody else and give perceptions as nobody else. So, yeah.
And with that in mind, then, I guess, obviously you've returned to the club in the last year or so. So, what improvements have you seen in that time, and what is it like working with Jurgen Klopp?
Improvements first, then. I think our team became much better. Became better in really dictating the play, in speeding up the positional play, and finding the right players between the lines, and from there being really creative. We made some adjustments in that by having our fullbacks more involved in the attack, by having our midfielders more in control. Our last line made huge steps with the ball in terms of the speed, how they play, how they step in with the ball, find direction. The variety from out the back is good by finding the ball in behind or playing through the pitch. Without losing our identity, of course, but the better you attack, the easier it becomes to play really good counter-pressing. Well, that's of course our identity, so I think there's where we really improved. And what was the second part of your question?
In terms of, you mentioned the manager there and how he could change things in the blink of an eye, really.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind,
it's like this. The character of the team is mainly developed by the character of the coach. Without sessions, it's about the character of Jurgen. And if you see how we fight, I play paddle with Jurgen a lot, and he finds always a way to come back in the game. It's my fault, but he always finds a way back. And the character of our team is this: whatever comes in front of us, we will find solutions. And it shows the individual quality of our players, or the character of our individual players, how they constantly are becoming better, and that's the good thing about how we play is that it forces individual development. So, and that's of course mainly because of the direction Jurgen gives. He's the leader, the thinker of the team. Yeah.
Finally, for me, then you said about putting out a Premier League side tomorrow night. This is a real opportunity for a lot of youngsters. There are a lot of youngsters that are ready for this now, aren't they?
I think so. Our club is about creating this culture. I think it's really important to have an inside pathway to promote young players, to give them opportunities, but I don't believe in just giving opportunities. It has to be the right opportunity, the right time, with the right players, because young players need examples around them, they need models, and they need being able to compete. If we put young players in a game with senior players around them, that's the perfect way to develop. First, they can see and they are protected. So say we play a left winger, young one, and our left defender, our left midfielder is a senior player. That triangle on that side, he gets protected, of course. What I said, young players, they need models, they need players around them. And our left midfielder is a senior player. That triangle on that side, he gets protected, of course. What I said, young players, they need models, they need players around them where they can learn from, instead of criticism. And that's what I really like about these moments in the season, and that we can create a combination of this. One, what I said, the hunger to win, because I believe this is the best way to win. And second, because it creates development. It makes our young players stronger. But again, it's not always about opportunity. It's the right moments, in the right context, in the right collective, with the right players around them. Yeah. Cool.
So maybe not younger players, but more senior players, like the ones that haven't had those many minutes this season, like Delaney, Joe Gomez, and Rhian, Brewster. Will those type of players, will we see those players involved?
European champions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Haven't featured much this season.
Yeah. Now, again, from the outside, you see us, of course, as a squad. From the inside, we are a team. So we don't see as subs or bench players. We see game changers. So we see players who have to change the game for us. If you want to compete in 5 competitions, everybody has to be ready, has to feel this responsibility to be ready each single. Say Joe Gomez against Chelsea. He only plays 4 minutes, 5 minutes, but a game changer. Because Alonso came through, because Kovacic had this inside space, and with Trent can stop and Joe closing there the inside, it's a game changer. So this is what I mean, but it's hard because you have to train each day, for 5 minutes, but it wins us the game. So, and that's responsible. If you want to play for Liverpool or play for a top team, you have to have this inside motivation, understand the importance that you will be needed in any moment. And this is the good thing about our team, is that we have these kind of players. And it took a while, but we have them now. So.
So is that how you sort of deal with them as squad? Even though say we do see them on the bench, we see players not involved, but to them, they're the game changers.
Yeah, they are, and they should be prepared. Of course, it's not easy, because from a human being point of view, you want to be involved constantly. But everybody knows, and the last season proved and showed that the season is so long with so many competitions, and this year even more. We had the Super Cup, we had the Community Shield, we have the World Cup of teams, we compete in the FA Cup, etc. So, and we consciously decided to have a small squad, because we want to promote young players and we want to create this culture. So if you create a big squad, it will not happen. If you create a squad with talent around, these talents will get opportunities. And that's also really important to understand. If everybody talks about depth, no, we are creating a new generation. We're trying to create a new generation. Yeah.
Just finally, just one more. On this competition then, it's often seen as the lesser of the domestic competitions in this country. And you talk about attacking competitions, how it's the soul of football.
Yeah.
So the fact that the last couple of seasons you haven't progressed very far in it, how do you treat it?
Our first season, we lost it in the final with penalties. against City. I remember our first season. Yeah, of course. It depends on our position, on the moment where we're in. I think we are much further as a team. I think it's if you rotate in games, say you change one play in the last line, one in the midfield, and one on front, you keep the collective. If you change a lot, it's much more difficult to keep that collective idea. So sometimes with if you play against a championships team who is all together against good players, but they are not collective, like it will cause us problems, and that happened, of course. And but I'm fully convinced that tomorrow's team that we can compete. Yeah.
Okay, before we go,
Sorry. No.
we've got a question, Sam, first.
Can you just ask why Naby Keita is the Chelsea man?
Yes. Yeah. I will not give the team, but he's in a really good way. What a boy, yeah, because he makes our build-up play completely different. He creates unpredictability, how the ball moves forward. So he's an important player, and hopefully we can use him in the next weeks even. But tomorrow will be a day where he will shine.
Let's go down the line. I thought we both did.
Yeah.
Quick check on the sort of, I know we might not see some of these players whether they were fit or not, but a bit of a check on their availability in terms of Shaqiri, Origi, and then Alisson and Mane as well.
Yeah, so Shaq, so he will not be involved tomorrow. We need a few days rest, and then we will see how that looks. Divock is training on the pitch, not with the team, but doing the individual session, so he's close to coming back into the team. He will not be involved. Sadio has a knock. He needs also 2 days rest, so he will also not be involved. And Ali, he's still on his way. He's with the training with John and Jack and with the other goalkeepers. Looks really well, to be honest, but you have to be really careful with these type of injuries, especially for a goalkeeper, because it's constantly speed reactions, jump. So for the calf, that's and especially Ali is a big guy, so a lot of weight goes through in these moments. So we have to be careful, but he's on his way back as well.
And also, this could be the moment we finally see Rhian Brewster
Rhian.
make his debut. How excited should we be?
Yeah, I was his coach when he came from Chelsea on the 15s, on the 16s. So that he is already on the bench away at Chelsea for me is massive, but for him, of course, much. But it makes us all proud. He's a player who, even if he does start or doesn't start tomorrow, he's a player who's every time more ready. But had a long injury, it was not that easy for him. But he has goal in him. He has technique, good physical. He's a complete striker. A typical 9 who can come first post, who can score with his head, who can turn in the box, who can play 1-1. Can score a scruffy goal as well. Unbelievable shot. But let's see. And a good boy. Otherwise he would not be in our team. Yeah, good character. Yeah.
Okay, go down the line. Anything from David? Anything from Jamie? Anything from you? Neil? Anything? And then we'll go to the national event, yes?
Just on potential debuts as well, it looks like Rhian and Kelleher might be involved. How confident are you that you can make that step up?
Yeah, same. He was on the 60s as well at that time. We didn't let him get out on loan in the start of the season because we felt that he's ready to be involved in our in our goalkeeper setup. He was injured in the start, so that was difficult because we wanted him to have a super pre-season, a good pre-season to feel the team better and play more games for us with the last line as well. So he looks good now. He's ready for it, that's for sure. He's a boy who unbelievable speed reactions. He's good on the line. What I mean with that. But what he has and what makes him really special in my opinion is his build-up play. He's calm on the ball, understands the game, can play inside, can play outside. There's a calmness over him, even in 1v1 situations. So yeah, he's a talented goalkeeper. But again, next step on the right moments, right times. Yeah. Yeah.
When the youngsters get a chance, how do you, as coaches, explain to them that they don't need to do anything different, because there's always that sort of pressure that they feel they need to make a real statement. So what will you say to them before the game?
The most important is for us as coaches is to be very clear on what we want. And then even with our first team, there's a lot of freedom. We want, say we want prepare pressing and put real pressure in this way, but then in moments the players are of course free to decide to go, to stay, and I think it's really important that that the players feel this freedom. Otherwise, creativity doesn't exist and doesn't come special things. And if you see our game, you see how Roberto turns and plays, and you see there's a lot of freedom. And we need this because we play against teams who are sitting back, who make the spaces really small in between the lines. So we need this freedom as well for these players, especially the players you mentioned are almost all offensive-orientated players. So yes, the main principles doesn't change, but inside that they should feel completely free, and they have the trust from us. That's the most important. So if we play them, they know, and they train already so long with us as well. So yeah.
Is there any opportunity for Rhian to be in the squad, or he's been doing well with the 20
Yeah.
season? Obviously, he came in the summer. Would this be an opportunity to include him?
Yeah, what a surprise he was when he came in the first sessions. That's some players, they play if they are already, say, 28, 29. He's this player who sees so much around him before things happen. And it's not easy to step in our training, because our training is, if you want to play high-intensity football, you have to train high-intensity football. So it's not easy to come in and then have control and find combinations, etc., etc. So, and he showed this from the first second. So then you're telling, in moments the players are of course free to decide to go, to stay, and I think it's really important that that the players feel this freedom. Otherwise, creativity doesn't exist and doesn't come special things. And if you see our game, you see how Roberto turns and plays, and you see there's a lot of freedom. And we need this because we play against teams who are sitting back, who make the spaces really small in between the lines. So we need this freedom as well for these players, especially the players you mentioned are almost all offensive-orientated players. So yes, the main principles doesn't change, but inside that they should feel completely free, and they have the trust from us. That's the most important. So if we play them, they know, and they train already so long with us as well. So yeah.
I was just going to say, is there any opportunity for Rhian to be in the squad, or he's been doing well with the 20
Yeah.
season? Obviously, he came in the summer. Would this be an opportunity to include him?
Yeah, what a surprise he was when he came in the first sessions. That's some players, they play if they are already, say, 28, 29. He's this player who sees so much around him before things happen. And it's not easy to step in our training, because our training is, if you want to play high-intensity football, you have to train high-intensity football. So it's not easy to come in and then have control and find combinations, etc., etc. So, and he showed this from the first second. So then you're a talented boy. Don't want to put more pressure on him, but yeah, we're really happy with him that he's with us. Yeah.
Any final ones, guys? Fantastic. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.